Some people are happy to see men weak. Some people are happy to see men as fragile today. And do you know how these guys, do you know how they do it? I mean, they are the ones that push men to be fragile. Yes, they are very happy that men are fragile. They push it by pushing these ideas that, oh, men need to be soft, men need to be expressive. But in that process, it is damaging men. So I've been thinking, what's the root cause of this men becoming fragile? I'll blame one thing: programming. Programming from one, parents, and two, the system. I mean, when I mean the system, I mean the kids or the educational system is designed to make men fragile as fuck. So from the parents' angle, what really happens in the parents' direction? One, parents, and from my own story, and when I was in primary school, right, basic elementary school, one thing is my mom and my aunts would do my assignments for me because I was so retarded to do my own assignments. In their minds, they were helping me, they were shielding me from me being punished at school. Yeah, they used to punish me at school for not doing assignments. So instead of them shielding me from that, guess what? No, in their minds, they were protecting me, but they were just creating a bigger problem down the line. I'm saying this because some days where I look back, I'm grateful for the fact that I came into these ideas as quick as possible. So now, back to the whole idea that these people are very happy because their goal is to make men weak, but they present it in a way like they want to help men. By what? Oh, men should be more expressive. Men should be more emotional. But if you ever look at them and look at what they do to men, you get to realize that the pressure of being a man these days has not reduced. In short, the pressure of being a man these days has actually increased. I mean, that's a very harsh reality, though. Something that I keep trying to get men to understand over and over again. But yeah, times are worse. Times are definitely worse. So what can you do as a man who has discovered himself to be raised in what? In a feminine way or in a fragile way? Because let's be honest, the way women raise men, they raise men to be very, very fragile. I mean, like mentally fragile. So if you look at the main solution, I don't have like a very clear-cut solution, but I think what you can do is one, be that person who embraces failure, right? But hold on, let me try something. The first step is to take risk. Because for you to fail, there has to be a level of risk. But the second thing now is because you're just starting out, I want you to take out this idea of going all in. You go all in after you have made calculations, right? After you have seen, or sometimes it could be inspirational, but it has been inspirational or calculated. Don't just go all in when when you have no bearing at all. So one, take risk. Two, take calculated risks, which is still the same thing. Take some level of calculated risk. All that means is you're not overly exposed. If it fails, it doesn't lead to a complete disaster. If it succeeds, it still succeeds. And three, learn from the failure. So typical example is bodybuilding. You cannot go to your first bodybuilding session and think you'll be slam 200 pounds on your chest and you'll be able to lift it. It doesn't work. Even though you're like big, fat, the first day walking into that gym, you're going to have to be humble enough to even try the empty bar. Try the empty bar. And you should not feel ashamed that you're the empty bar. This is where a lot of people miss that point. And see it as you strengthening your ego. Because, like I said, being fragile itself also comes with a fragile ego. So go into the gym, start with the littlest you can do at the gym, right? Then over time, you begin to stack up the plates as you improve. That itself is what I'm referring to. So quick one. Now you're taking the risk going to the gym, right? You're taking that risk of going to the gym to build muscles. Two, you're not lifting what you can. You're not racking what you can lift, so you don't cause irreversible injuries. And three, you're not. What's that word? You're learning from your failures. Like I said, learning from your failures. That's very important because when you learn from your failures, you are bound to repeat that same mistake over and over again. And thinking of it from the teacher's perspective, because like I said, it's not just the parents that have this problem. Also, teachers have this problem because I experienced that too. It's this idea of not even this both parties is this idea of victimhood, this victimhood mentality, where the whole world panders to people just because they say they are victims. It has a problem. No, and the irony is all these things start with good intentions, right? These intentions are good, but they, in the long run, they are very damaging. So, for example, when I mean the victimhood mentalities, when the whole world panders towards the victim, whenever the victim cries, guess what? Victims are going to cry out louder. I mean, so what should we do? What should we do? So, hold on. When it comes to victimhood, there's a book I read recently, right, about how parents create kids with victim mentality. Remember, victim mentality starts with the story in their head. But how do parents start this victim mentality? When you ask a child, "How are you?" The child says, "Oh, I'm fine." And then you switch the conversation, you switch the topic, the energy is like calm, is okay, and you're done. You tell the kid goodbye. When a child says, "I'm not feeling too well, I'm not fine," all of a sudden, you invest more energy in that child. You what? You want to be much more curious about what is happening in that child's life. And so think about it. Subconsciously, that child is trained to not be fine, to get more of your attention. Yeah. And in that process, he keeps telling himself, "I am not fine, I am not fine, I am not fine." And what happens 20 to 30 years down the line? He really is not fine. He really is struggling. He's struggling to find himself. He's having to cope. So it's a very massive discovery because ironically the research went on for what, decades, and then things like this are things that really really make us ask ourselves, what kind of environment are we raising our kids in? Now, heck, I want to be a father, so this is why I study topics like this, right? Because the parenting style that we have these days is not working. It's proving not to work. And I think this is the reason the parenting style goes like, I suffer this much, right? And I don't want my kids to suffer at all. It's a good intention, but what happens is it is robbing that child of what they can benefit. So I'm grateful that yes, starting out life, I think I was in that space. But for some reasons, I'm grateful that I found my foot because a lot of men have not found their foot. A lot of men a lot of men don't even grow to become men. They are still boys. Like they are still boys regardless. They never grow to become men. And it's my message that it's my sole message that these guys actually become men by what? Taking risks. Risks that is very calculated, that you know that the harm is easily reversible, right? I use the word harm because some people overexpose themselves. Some people overexpose themselves and it doesn't end well for them. And three, that they learn from that failure. Speaking of it, if you watch my vlogs, you get to realize that when my instructors ask me how am I getting this good in a very short period of time, one thing I say is that I'm at the gym kicking the bags almost every day. And I tell them that the idea of me kicking the bags, right, is for me to what? Fail faster. I'm very sure you've heard that concept of you should fail faster. Right? Like right now, I probably made over 1,000 to 1,500 videos. But guess what? At the moment of making this video, I'm sure that my page is not what it's supposed to be. No, I'm very sure about that. But guess what? I know that at some point I will get better. So it's more like I'm real life testing my failures. I'm real life testing my failures with my ideas. So my name is Tony Reye. I basically create content to help young boys get their act together. If you like what you hear, I want you to share with more men because more men these days are becoming as fragile as fuck and it is getting out of hand. If you like what you heard in this video, I want you to please share this video with somebody. When you share this video with somebody, it makes the algorithm push this video to more people. Then I know that I can help more young men become mentally strong. So thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.